Alrighty. It's been a while since I've been live. Actually, it's been like 2 months gone by. So you'll have to excuse me if I seem a little... So you'll just have to bear with me. So a bunch of just turn down the volume on that. Actually, I'll turn it up just a teeny bit. And I think that should be all right. Maybe turn it up just a... Actually, I'll turn it up just a teeny bit. Cool, just turn it up just a teeny bit more. So, yeah. I've been away, been on, away for work. I'm not sure if I'll go with that one. I'll go with this one. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm basically easing back into live streaming after a substantial break. I was away for 2 months. Unheard of when it comes to most content creators who live stream. But no, I've just been in a place where the internet wasn't ideal for what I was doing. And, you know, that happens sometimes. Because I was out at sea. So I decided to, rather than, you know, do the whole long intro and everything, just thought I'd just jump into it. I've been very much and it wasn't like my usual travel where I just, you know, go interstate, which I should mention that's actually coming up, but it won't be nearly as I won't be traveling nearly as much as I did in previous years. It doesn't jive particularly well right now with my other commitments. So what else is new? Oh yeah, I may as well. Oh, okay. I may as well mention the other things going on in my life. I have recommitted to going carnivore. Like, I dabbled with the diet in previous years. But I never That's the interesting. Because that is the cool and interesting thing about the algorithm. Okay, I'm back on one platform. Let's see if I'm back on the other one. Well, I'm back on YouTube, but I don't appear to be back on Twitch. These things always seem to be like a constant hassle. But I figured I haven't done any real, like, proper content creation in a long time. Like, I left my channel essentially without any new updates even before I went on the cruise. And like, it's not like I couldn't have, you know, Turns out I actually am back live. Got to reboot this phone. That's some fun times. Okay, another unexpected error. I think the main appeal of Jamiroquai is like this short British guy sings with so much soul. It's genuinely impossible to believe when you first hear him that he's not actually black. Like when I first heard Jamiroquai just on the radio, I was genuinely shocked when I found out that like this guy was the guy. But then I heard Cosmic Girl. Like I saw the music video for Cosmic Girl, and I just thought, wow, it really is. That's really him. And I gotta admit, like his music only ever grew on me after that. Like I have been a fan ever since. And the thing about Jamiroquai as well is he has been extraordinarily consistent. Like his stuff from the early 90s sounds almost exactly the same as the stuff he's putting out now. Like he's not doing anything like sort of weird or experimental, or you know, he's essentially just producing the same kind of music that he always has, because that's what sells. He's like, oh, okay. The fans seem to like this one thing that I do exceptionally well. I'm just gonna keep making that sort of music. And like that kind of ethos, like it really sort of resonates with me, because That's basically all I've done. Like I very rarely like step out of that particular comfort zone. I also don't understand why a comfort zone is a bad thing. Like, comfort zones are great, you get so much done. Well, I am live on YouTube, so I guess that's something. And my microphone is working, which is also a good development too. Like, even these iconic hats, I've always admired. Because JK is not a big man, like he's, you know, bit of a short king. But the hat makes him look more imposing, more important, and more like the guy who plays the Indian and Village People. And the other cool thing about Jamiroquai is he's so predictably cool that you don't really have to worry about him making like a mediocre or not particularly interesting song. So Japan, I would highly recommend. Like, I've traveled overseas before, and I have been to one other Asian country, but Japan absolutely not only lived up to, but it exceeded my expectations. And I am definitely looking forward to going back. Even if it's just for like traveling for the sake of it. Like, I never really thought about traveling as a leisure activity, really ever, until I went on this cruise. And now I see the point of it. Well, I more see the point of it now. Okay, that's the line work done. So I will be back shortly to work on the color. Yeah. Okay, I will be right back. Alrighty. Let's jump back into it. So what else is new for May? Well, I've got my first convention coming up, which is just a small one in a regional city. And it's a one-day event, so it should be pretty easy to get to and from. I'll be traveling down to Wollongong. So that should be fun. It's a chance to, I guess, dip my toes back into doing conventions again. It's weird, like, how quickly you kind of just sort of move on from stuff, though. Like, I'm sort of at that age where I just want to scale back the conventions that I do. Like, I did Western Australia last time. Went all the way out to Perth. That was a trek and a half. To anyone watching, Perth is roughly the distance from it's like the distance between Toronto and I think Vancouver. It's about 5 hours. It's a long flight. You're in a completely different time zone over there. Like, say it'll be 8:30 in Sydney, and in Perth, Western Australia, it'll be 1993. So I recently got back into gaming as well, because that Fallout show is it's actually doing amazingly on what's it called? Amazon Prime. Now, I haven't watched it yet, but I am thinking it's probably a good idea to reconsider renewing my membership, because what I did last time was I got on Amazon Prime just to watch two shows. Invincible and The Boys. And I like both. Both series are fun. I think I like Invincible a bit better than The Boys, although it too it has its problems. However, I am reading the comic book that it's based on. And one thing I have found about the adaptation is, strangely enough, the show is better than the comic so far. Like, I find the artwork, or the character design rather, in the show to be much more visually appealing than what's going on in the comic. I get that comics are, they take longer to produce. It's usually just one guy doing all the drawing. But I found that the animated series, there's always a team working on that. Like, it's basically impossible for one individual to make an entire show by themselves. I mean, you can do it, but it's an incredible strain on the artist's wrists. Like, I've done animation. I find it's very much a labor of love. See, I'd honestly like to make more. animation, but it is one of those things where you do, at some point, to fulfill the goals that you want to achieve, you do need a team. You just, like, motivation is great, but properly coordinated teamwork is better. And I think that's what a lot of, talented people are missing. Is some projects just cannot really be done alone. You have to, like, share the time that you're working on something. Because otherwise, you just find yourself burning out way, way faster. Like, I've been watching these other YouTubers, and they talk about, this is what I've earned in a week. This is what I've earned in a month. This is what my first paycheck from AdSense looks like. All that kind of stuff. And then some of them, talk about, my expenses are this, that, and the other thing. But some of them are just like, well, I pay my team. I'm like, team? And a lot of these content creators, they get to a point where they can afford to hire, like, editors, people that make, what are they called, really funky video thumbnails. And obviously a lot of this stuff can be done by AI. But there is something about hiring a person to do these things which makes them a bit more special. And that's kind of like, I've mentioned this in previous live streams. Like, that's kind of why I'm not too concerned about the rise of AI. Like, I get it. There will inevitably jobs that will disappear, more or less, because of, like, robots. Ends up creating more jobs than it ends up eliminating. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit sniffly here. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the colder months.
Excuse me. I'll be right. That's better. I might end up getting some feedback regarding this particular outfit. I'm not sure if I like the colour scheme that much. Yeah, I don't think I like that pattern at all. It's too... I don't know. I don't think it really suits him. I might try some different outfits on him. This one might get revised, I don't know. Just gonna put it out to the client, see what they say. If it's a keeper or not. It's weird because like Autumn has been. Ooh. Okay, that's not good. Has this thing not been charging? Hasn't been charging. I'll duplicate that layer. Just add a bit of extra flair before I call it quits tonight. See, that's the thing about using iPads, you can never tell when they're on their way out or about to give up the ghost. But anyway, I will sort of quickly breeze through this bit here. And let everyone know that I will actually be going live again once this thing is back up and running. But until then, I would like to say thank you for everyone who tuned in, checked out, and maybe even bothered to stick around. And also my regulars. You've all been awesome.